Hello and welcome guys. So let's continue now. I've also opened up the reference image over here so that we can side by side look at it. And one thing that I'm noticing is that these things that we have created over here and in the reference image, if you see them, they are a little bit bigger than the ones that we have created. So let's fix that quickly. So just select this, and to scale it properly according to the axis, because we have rotated it a little bit on the Z, just press S, then Z, and then press Z once again, and you will see that it aligns itself. And just increase the scale on the Z axis like this. Yeah, that's pretty good in my opinion. Now select this one. For this one, I think we need to press S, Z, Z again. Yeah. And just scale this one up also like this. You can press G, then Z once again, and move it downwards like this. I will just increase the scale a little bit more. Alright, that looks perfect, I think. Let's continue. Also, if you will notice that there is like a very light like hint of this circle like shape around the button, but we won't be creating it in the modeling phase. I will just add it later on while we are texturing this piece in Substance Painter. It would be much easier to do so. But for these buttons also, we have this shape over here. We can add this one in the modeling phase only because it is kind of easier to do so. So let's just do that now. I will enable the overlay, press 1 for front view and enable X-ray. So let's start by adding a simple cube. So press Shift plus A, add a cube, and let's place it according to the object over here. So you can press R to rotate it a little bit and scale it down. You can also view things like the rotation, translation, and the scale over here also in this menu. If you don't see this menu appear up, you can press N to bring this up like this and select the item tab from over here. And now I will just quickly change the rotation. So I will just select everything, put everything to 0. And for the Y axis, we can type in minus 25 degrees. Yeah, I think that works perfectly. And now just try to scale it properly according to the reference image. You can press G, then X and X to move it along the rotation this way. Now press S, then X once again to scale it like this along the rotation. Alright, I think that's pretty good now. So what we can do is we can first press Ctrl A, apply the scale, then press Tab and simply press 2 for edge select, hold Ctrl and Alt, select all these edges to bevel them. Press 1 once again, enable X-ray, and let's see, we can easily bevel this now. I think this much is pretty good and it fits perfectly. Let's select this, shade smooth this, enable auto smooth. And now just simply select this first, then select the main object, then press Ctrl plus minus. We need to move the bevel modifier below this. And yeah, that works perfectly. Just bring this out this way so that we have like a really faint cut. I think we can bring it outwards a little bit more. If you are seeing all these like little bits of shading issues, you can just try moving your like object around, and most of the times they will fix themselves only. Whenever you have these shading issues, you can like just move your object around just a little bit and you can find the perfect place where you are having no issues. I think we have to push it in this much. Then we can select both the buttons and push them back also like this. And I think that looks fine. Let's move further now, and we can start by making these buttons over here. Okay, wait, let me see. I'm just not liking the depth of this cutout. I want to like push it forwards a little bit, but it is giving me a little bit of shading issues over here that I'm not a fan of. Let's try adding a weighted normal modifier to this to see if that fixes it. Yeah, I think that did it. If you just turn it off, you can see all these shading issues, but if I turn weighted normal on, we don't really have them, and we can push it out a lot more in my opinion. Alright, I think that looks much better, because if you see in the reference image also, we don't have it like this cut out too deep. So yeah, this way I think it works best. So yeah, you can just add a weighted normal modifier to fix that issue of yours. Next, let's see, we can select this piece, and what I want to do is press tab, and I want to add bevels to these edges, because over here in the buttons also it is there. So you can just press 2, then press Ctrl and Alt and click over these edges, then just press Ctrl B and bevel them out smoothly. Alright, that looks much better in my opinion. Alright, so let's hit save, and now we can start by creating these buttons over here. So enable X-ray, and let's see. First we need to again add a cube, scale it down, let's place it over here. For this also, let's try -25 on rotation, but I don't think it would fit. I think it fits. Maybe we need to rotate it a little bit more. So this one we have to like just eyeball it. Yeah, I think that is pretty much okay. So we can maybe set it to -26. Yeah, that looks fine to me. Press Ctrl A and apply the scale. Press Tab and press 2 for edge select. Hold Ctrl and Alt. Select all these edges. And let's just quickly bevel it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I will just quickly also open up the reference image. So let's open up this one, and we can just quickly look at how the cutout is placed. So let's see, we have one cutout over here, then we have another one inside it, then we have a button. So first let's create this outer cutout. Shade smooth this, enable auto smooth. And while this is selected, let's press shift and select this main object, press Ctrl plus minus. And first let's move the bevel modifier. Now we need to just move both of the modifiers, the bevel and the weighted normal also. So let's just select this Boolean modifier and bring it above them like this. And let's see, what we can do is we can select this, press tab, press slash to go into the isolation mode, and press 3 for face select. Let's select this back face, press slash to come out of the local mode, and press Ctrl B to bevel the complete face like this. I think this way our cutout looks much better. And now we can just duplicate this over here, select it. Okay, sorry, I selected the wrong thing. Select this object, press shift plus D, and just place it right over here like this. And now we can select this, select the main object, press Ctrl plus minus. Select the bottom Boolean modifier and bring it above the bevel and the weighted normal. And yeah, now we can start by creating the main button. So just add another cube, scale it down, rotate it by -26 on the Y. So make this one a little bit bigger than your reference image because we will be using this object as the cutout, and then we will add the main button over it. So I just make it a little bit larger. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale, press tab, press 2 for edge select, hold Ctrl and Alt, select all the edges, then press Ctrl B and bevel it out quickly like this. Pretty simple. Then we can just shade smooth this and enable auto smooth. Press G then Y and move it backwards like this. And before you actually use the Boolean modifier, press Shift plus D to duplicate, then hit right click to place it exactly at this location. And then while it is selected, you can select the main object, press Ctrl minus, and we have created the cutout, but we cannot see it because of the duplicated piece. So just scale it down now a little bit so that we can see it properly. And it is still not that visible, but yeah, it is there. Because it is like a really small cutout, it is causing a little bit of shading issues, but I don't think that matters that much because it won't be visible. Next, let's shape the button a little bit. Press Ctrl A, apply the scale, press tab. Let's press 3 for face select, select the top face, and then we can just bevel the top face like this to make it smoother. We'll select all 3 of these objects and bring them out a little bit. I think earlier one was fine. Now we can just select this and select this, then press Shift plus D. And if you remember, we learned about the copy attributes menu. So while both of them are selected, select this, then press Ctrl C and copy location to bring them exactly at the center. Then you can just select them both and move them backwards like this. Select this piece in the middle and select this, then press Ctrl minus to create the cutout. Okay, I think we forgot to move the bevel modifier. That's why it was causing all the shading issues. I totally forgot about it. So yeah, move the bevel modifier and the weighted normal below this. And I think this way it works much better. And now I will just select everything that we just created, all 6 of them, and move them outwards. Like this. Turn off the overlay to see how it looks. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We are having a little bit of shading issues here and there, but I think they are really small and we won't be able to even see them from far away. So I think it's fine. We don't have to worry too much about them. Let's just hit save and we can continue. So let's see. Press 1 and next thing that we can do is we can create these shapes that are created over here. If you press 3, you can see them over here also on the side of your object. So let's do that now. So to do that, you can select the main object and press tab, and you will see just a little bit of the Z fighting going on. So when the faces are like overlapping, it happens. So the reason this is happening is because we have used the intersect operation of the Boolean modifier 2 or 3 times. So that's why whenever we like go into the edit mode of the main object, we are seeing all this. It does not cause any problem, but if you want me to show you how we can fix this, it is really easy. So wherever we have used like the intersect modifier, if you select any of those objects and just quickly go into the object data property of theirs, you will see this 4 number is written over here. So that means this object data is being shared by 4 different objects, but we want that every object should have a unique object data property. So to do that, we just need to select the object and click over here. And as soon as you do that, now the 4 is not written. That means this object now has unique object data properties. So now select this one and you will see 3 written over here. That means now it is being used by only 3 objects. So just quickly click on here again and again. and now each one of them have unique properties. So now when you select the main object and press tab, you will see it is not appearing. It is just appearing over here because of the overlapping faces. If you want to fix that also, you can just select this object, press G then Y and bring it out just a little bit. So just like very small amount. And even if you do like a very small amount and now you select the main object, press tab, you will see it is not appearing. It is only appearing over here. So again, I will select this and we can just press G then Y and push it inwards, just very small amount. And now you won't see any kind of weird issues with your model. So press Ctrl S, save it, press 3 for right side view. And let's see, we can press tab, enable X-ray. You can start by pressing Ctrl R and adding an edge loop like this. So let's place it over here. Now press Ctrl R again and add one edge loop over here like this. You can hold Alt and click on the loop to select it. I think that's pretty good. You can press 1, enable X-ray, and then press Ctrl R and you will see the edge loop is not really working properly over here. So we have to create it manually. And don't worry, it's not that difficult. So press Ctrl R first, add one edge loop over here like this. Then press Ctrl R, add one edge loop over here like this. So now what we need to do is we can disable X-ray for now. We want to have them placed at exactly at the same height. You can see they are not really perfect right now. So for that we can use snapping. So you can go over here and enable vertex snapping. Just select vertex snapping from over here. Now when you press G and you hold Ctrl, you will see you can snap it to any vertices. So the way we will properly align it with this edge over here is we will press G then Z and lock it on the Z axis like this. So just come over here, press G then Z to move it. You can see it is moving. Then hold Ctrl and hover over this vertex and you can see the location is now snapped and they both are now perfectly in line at the same height. So hold Alt, select this, hold Alt and Shift, select this loop and just press G then Z and move them upwards. Now to join them, you can press 1. Let's enable X-ray. You can select this vertex, hold Shift, select this vertex, then press J to select them. And at the back side also select them both, then press J. And you can see we have created the complete loop now. Let's disable X-ray, press 1 and yeah, we are over here. So let's move it right over here. And now we need to do the same thing again. So press Ctrl R, add edge loop like this. One over here. Press G, then Z and hold Ctrl to snap it. Select these two, press J to join and select these two, press J to join. Hold Alt, select the complete loop, press G then Z and bring it up like this. Press Ctrl R and now we need to add a couple of loops over here. So let's see how we can do that. We can add one like this. So let's just quickly add 4 loops on the top like this. Enable X-ray and you can just select all of them at once just by creating a selection over this vertex, and you will see everything is selected because X-ray is on. And now you can just move it over here. Select this one and move this one over here. Now let's see. We can add edge loops over here. So add 4 edge loops like this. You can select them both. So hold Alt, click over here and select them, press G then X and just quickly snap them. So hold Alt, select it, press G then X to move them and snap it so that all of them are perfectly in place. Alright, now we can select these two, press J, select these two, press J, select these two and press J again and again. Let's do the same thing over here. Press Ctrl R and you can use a scroll wheel to increase the number of cuts. So we need 4 loops. So we'll do that. Hold Alt, select this one, press G then X and just quickly place them all together. just like that. And now we need to just quickly join them. So select all of them one by one and press J to join them together. And now we have got a perfect loop that we can select and extrude. So hold Alt and let's just select this complete loop. Press 3 for face select, hold Alt and select this loop like this. Let's press 3 and just let me see if the size is right. I will just press S then X and increase the size a little bit. Sorry, S then Y to increase the thickness of this just a little bit. Yeah, I think that is perfect. So now to extrude them, we need to extrude them inwards. So now to select it, you can hold Alt and click over here and select this complete loop. Then hold Shift and Alt and select this loop. Again, hold Shift and Alt and keep on selecting all the loops that we have to extrude. Press 1, enable X-ray and see if they are placed correctly. You can also check the proper edge length by going over here and enabling edge length. And when you press 2, you can just select this edge and you will see that the length is written over here 0.0253. If you like move the vertices, you will see the edge length is changing. So let's check for both of them if the edge length is same. So this one is a little bit larger. So what we can do is we can just select this loop and make it a little bit thicker. So it was 0.0282 and yeah, now I think they both would be same. So we can again just disable edge length first, hold Shift and Alt and quickly select all of these loops. And now you can just press Alt E to extrude them and select extrude faces along normals and we will extrude them inwards just like that. So very simple, you don't have to extrude inwards too much, just a little bit. And yeah, you can see that looks pretty good in my opinion. So our Game Boy is starting to come along a little bit. Also, if you want like better control over your bevel modifier, you can select the main object, go over in the bevel modifier and just disable clamp overlap in the geometry section. As soon as you do that, you will see everything goes a little bit weird, but don't worry. What basically has happened is it is now no longer clamping the overlap, and if you increase the bevel, you will see everything is now gone haywire. So you just need to control it very carefully. So maybe we can place it to 0.001 or you can just try checking it if it works perfectly with 0.002 also. If you see any kind of shading issues, you can just decrease it back to 0.001. So we are seeing a couple of them over here. So let's just put it back to 0.0015. Let's try 15. So I'm noticing there are like a lot of shading issues over here. I think that is mainly because they are like very small Boolean modifiers and they are like very close to each other. So basically what I will do is I will just select these two and just delete them completely because I don't think we really need them. They are really small and we won't be able to see them properly. And it is causing to mess up our like bevels too much. So we can just remove them and we can adjust the bevel a little bit better. So set it to 0.002 maybe. And I think in my opinion that works much better and we don't have any kind of shading issues or like overlapping anywhere. Alright, that works pretty good in my opinion. Let's just hit save. And I think this is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one where we will continue.